Good morning everybody, welcome to today's class. I hope you've all had a lovely week so far. Obviously for me this was a little bit like a Monday, but yeah, had a really nice few days away with my sister and her little munchkins. But let's get started on today's session. So let's just do, I'm really cut out, a little stretch to the neck. Let me adjust that camera so I can actually be seen. Yeah, a little stretch to the neck. So I'm going to drop the head down, take one arm across, you can reach the other arm away. Just holding there, get that nice stretch through the neck and into the shoulder. Swap sides, we're going to tip the head over, hand comes across, reach the other arm away. One more time on each side, we tip the head across, take the hand over, reach the arm away. Last time, tipping over, hand comes across and we reach the arm away. From there we're going to go into our breathing. So onto your mat if you're still standing up. Oh. Okay, so we're laying back, knees bent, feet on the floor. Remember we want to have that little curve underneath the lower back. So big enough to get your hands underneath. Shoulders resting down, you should be looking straight up towards the ceiling. And we're just starting here by taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking these nice deep breaths in and out, you want to think about keeping these hips nice and level. So imagine you've got that torch on each hip bone. Your torches should be shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body relaxed. Those shoulders are away from the ears, the chest is nice and open. Try and keep that weight evenly placed through your feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. And just start to really gently tighten through that tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I'd like you to tuck the pelvis under, so you're flattening your back into the mat. Inhale to stay still. Exhale to release back out. Tucking under. Holding there. And releasing out. So as you're tucking under, we're trying to get a really nice, strong, flat back position. We're using the tummy muscles and the pelvis to move. So try to avoid squeezing your bottom. Got 2 more here. Tucking under to flatten. Holding that position. Releasing out. Last one, we're tucking under to hold. Holding there. And releasing out. So we're going to hold that last flat back position. And from here, we're going to start to tighten through your pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder, that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. So imagine you're trying to hold in, you know, that sensation of holding in a wee or stopping a wee mid-flow. Let's halve this contraction, so 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we still want this nice relaxed position through the upper body. Shoulders away from the ears, chest is nice and open, and we're going to turn those palms up towards the ceiling. And that's just going to help to really open up through the front of your body. We're pulling the tummy all the way down towards the spine. And we're keeping the weight even through those feet, so big toe, little toe and heel. We're going to half one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. This should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. And from that, your flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. And from there, we're going to lift both legs up into a tabletop position. So you want to have the knees above your hips and your shins are parallel to the ceiling. And we're going to glue those legs together. From there, we're going to tip both legs over to one side. So you're releasing one hip from the floor. Inhale to the centre. And we're swapping sides, tipping over, releasing that hip. Come back to the centre. And tip over. And the centre. So you are going to lose your flat back position as that hip leaves the floor. Try and find it as you come back into the centre. So you're really using your tummy to tip you over to the side, to pull your legs back to the centre and then swapping sides. Both shoulders should stay flat into the floor, relaxing the head down. Nice deep breath, tighten your pelvic floor. 2 more on each side, we're tipping over and centre. Tipping over and centre. One more time on each side, tip over and centre. Tipping over and centre. From there, just hug those knees into your chest, and if you need to, take a little rock from side to side. And then we're going to go on to our hands and knees for our stretch through our back. So we'll take our hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Try and get your tummy nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, I want you to tuck the pelvis under. You're flattening, no you're not, you're curving, sorry. Curving your lower back, arching the spine, and we're dropping the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale, let the pelvis come back out to your start position. And lift the head. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head, we hold, we're releasing out through the spine, and we're lifting the head, tucking under to curve, arching the back, dropping the head, we hold. And we're releasing out through the spine. And we lift the head. So we want to get lots of movement in your back. Working into each section piece by piece. So if you do have any areas that are feeling stiff or sore, we're slowing them down. Taking your time to work into each section piece by piece. Vertebrae by vertebrae if we can. So as you're curving your back, and you're pulling that tummy all the way in. As you're releasing out, let those shoulders come away from the ears. Let's take 2 more here. We're tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head, we hold. Releasing out through the spine. And lifting up. Last time, tuck under to curve. Arching the back, we're dropping the head, holding here, and then we release out through the spine. And we're lifting up. From there, take a shelf stretch back, so push your bottom to your feet. Reach those arms out in front. And then we're going to go onto our sides to do our chest opening stretch. If at any point you need to, just grab yourself that drink. So laying on your side, legs together, arms nice and long. Let's go palm to palm. So we're going to be lifting this top arm up. Take your fingertips up to the ceiling. The head comes with you as you start to twist away from your body towards the opposite wall. Holding here, take a nice stretch before lifting back up and over and coming down palm to palm. We're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twist away. Holding here, stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So we want those legs to stay glued together and grounded. So you can make sure this twist is coming through your waist. Nice deep breaths as you're stretching the arm from the fingertips all the way into your armpits. Really opening up in the chest. Following the hand with the head. Making sure we've got a really nice range of movement through the neck. We've got two more here. We're going to lift up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking that head with you, twisting away. We hold before we lift back up and over to come down palm to palm. We've got one more here. Lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you and we twist away. Holding here to stretch. We're coming back up and over to come down palm to palm. From here we're going to swap sides. So you can either roll over to face the other end of your mat or swivel over to be at the opposite end. So again, resting down, taking those arms nice and long, palm to palm. Legs are bent and grounded. Top arm lifts, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking that head with you, twisting away. We hold. We're lifting all the way up and over to come down palm to palm. Lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you, twist away. We hold before we lift back up and over to come down palm to palm. So remember, those legs are glued together. They're grounded. We're taking nice deep breaths. Stretching that arm as long as we can. From the fingertips all the way into your armpits. You want to take that head with you as long as you can. So you know you're getting a good range of movement on both sides of the head. Let's take 2 more here. We're lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Take the head with you and twist away. We hold. Come back up and over. And back down palm to palm. Last time here, lifting up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. We hold. We lift up and over. To come down palm. From there, bring yourself into a full body stretch. You can roll onto your back here if you need to. Grab a drink if you like one. And if you're not there already, we need to come onto our backs. Let me just set myself up here. We want to have the knees bent, feet on the floor. We're in neutral, so we're going to have a slight curve underneath the lower back. You should be looking up towards the ceiling and just start by resting those arms down beside you. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor. Take a nice deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest, lifting up. So you want to be using your tummy muscles to lift you all the way up from the floor. So you're pulling your belly button down. We're taking our chin to chest position to try and keep that neck nice and relaxed. So think big nod of the head before you start to pull that tummy down. Keeping nice and tightened in the pelvic floor. We're working deep into those lower tummy muscles. Breathe. Arms are reaching long, get those shoulders away from the ears. We're going to take 2 more here before we add some more movement in. Chin to chest. We're lifting up. We hold. Control back down. Last one, chin to chest. lifting up. You hold, control, back down. So we're going to add little pulses on the end of our lift. Done this one loads of times before. Chin to chest and lift. We're going to pulse. 2, 3, 4. Control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting up. Pulse. 2, 3, 4. Control back down. If your neck is sore, you can come behind the head here. Remember, you're on the head, not the neck. And again, pulse. 2, 3, 4. Control back down. Whichever position you're using, use that chin to chest position so your neck stays quite relaxed here. Keeping those shoulders down and away from the ears. Just little pulses to get that extra lift. Keep the whole of the tummy and the pelvic floor tightened. We've got 2 more sets here. Chin to chest. We're lifting up. Pulse. 2, 3, 4. Control back down. Last one, chin to chest. Lifting up. Pulse. 2, 3, 4. Control back down. From there, we need to hug those knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to go into a knelt position. If you don't like kneeling, bearing weight on your knees, then lay on your front. Let me just find a position where I am actually in the camera shot. Slight chopping off of my head, but there we go. Okay, so in your if you're in a long laying position, legs out behind you. Remember, hands are mat width apart in line with your ears, and you've got that chest lift from the floor. If you're okay with kneeling, then have the knees directly underneath your hips. So my hips are here, directly underneath as much as you can. Think about being really tall through your upper body, but just slightly tucking that chin in to relax your neck. Have your arms rest down beside you. If you suffer from cramp in the lower leg, then just tuck those toes under like I'm doing here. If not, we're resting down. As you breathe in, I want you to pull your tummy all the way in, and you're going to lean from your knees slightly back. Mine's going to be really tiny. Hold, no, not holding. Exhale to lift, sorry. Inhale back. Exhale to lift. So you want your lean to be a little bit bigger than mine if you can. Mine is just super small. Lean and lift. So you're using your tummy the whole time that you're leaning back. Squeeze your bottom to give you that lift up. The exhale is going to give you that little bit of momentum to lift. Let's do 2 more like this, then we'll add some movement in. Leaning back, squeeze and lift. Leaning back, squeeze and lift. Okay, from here, we're going to add in a little hold. So you're going to lean back, then you're going to hold, and lean back a tiny bit more, hold, come all the way up. We have done this one before a few weeks ago. So you're going to lean halfway back, hold. Lean a little bit more, hold. Push all the way up. Lean. Lean. Come all the way up. Mine again is super tiny. If you want to make yours bigger, you can. And if you do make yours a little bit bigger, you should then feel it firing up through those thighs. I don't mind how you breathe here, but try to get your exhale on that So try and use the momentum of that breath out to lift you. And really squeeze that bottom. 2 more here. Lean, lean, and lift. Lean, lean, and lift. Doesn't matter which exercise you've done there, I'd like you to come back into a shell stretch position. So push your bottom to your feet and reach those arms out in front. And from here, we're going to be going into the hundreds. So you'll be on your backs. Grab a drink, of course, if you need one. So, as you go onto your back, just find a position that's comfortable to begin with, while I talk you through what we're doing. So, of course, we're going to be in a flat back position. So, we tucked under, no gap underneath the lower spine. From there, we're going to lift those legs up, and they're going to be lengthened. So, as I always bang on about this, it doesn't matter if your legs aren't completely straight up, out and in front. If you need to keep them quite bent, don't worry about it. It is the longest position that you can maintain. So try and get it longer than tabletop, but it's the longest that you can maintain. I'd rather that you had legs bent but sustained it for the whole of the movement than you straighten them and have to give up halfway. Don't want that. So from there, we're going to be nodding the head and lifting the shoulders with the arms nice and long. Just palms facing the floor. Without beating up and down for your 100 repetitions, 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out. From there, take your hands behind your head, go straight into your 2 sets of 8 sitting up towards the legs. And then we're going to go from there, straight into reaches across, 2 sets of 8, okay? So you're still supporting the head, you're just taking one hand away as you go. Then we're going to rest, take a stretch, and give those legs a little shake out. Oh, excuse me. I'll talk you through everything we're doing. Yeah, let's go for it. So nice, strong, flat back position. Tuck under, leaves that gap. When you're ready, get those legs lifted and they're long. As long as you can make them. From there, we nod the head, lift the shoulders, take those arms nice and long and palms are facing the floor. We inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, hands are behind the head, your legs are still lifted. We're sitting up for 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8 more, 8, 7, 6, tummies in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're reaching across for 8, swap sides, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last set, 8, 7, 6, tummies in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relaxing there, hug your knees into your chest, and then when you're ready, come into a full body stretch. And then we're coming up into a seated position for our stretches. today we're going to do a stretch we've done before, but not that recently, I don't think, or we've done it before anyway. So you're going to be seated. You can be elevated in your seated position if you want to, either using an arc barrel or a step, or a cushion or something like that. You need to bring your legs out into a wider position than you would usually have them. So this doesn't matter if it is a quite narrow position or a really wide position. What I want them to be is not touching, basically. That's my handkerchief. I want to not touch, basically. So don't worry if you feel like yours is still quite narrow. That doesn't matter. Just work with where your hips can go. If you're comfortable to, then flex those feet. And that's just going to increase the work underneath your calves here and really lengthen through there. So what we're going to do is, we're going to walk down one leg, hold in there, then we're going to come through the middle and hold, to the other leg, hold, and back up. And then we'll repeat, but going the other way, so that we get that first stretch to begin with. And we'll finish that type of stretch there. Let me just grab myself some water. So, in that wide position, you're going to twist your upper body so that your shoulders are facing that foot, and you should feel like you're then in that diagonal corner of the room. Just take your hands onto your leg and start to walk your hands down. So you can let the back round, let the shoulders round, the head drop. You're going to as far as you can go. If you can't grab your foot, that doesn't matter. Just to wherever you can reach to, dropping that head. Imagine you're trying to get your nose to touch your knee. And we're just going to hold it here. Deep breaths. Let's see if we can walk a little bit further down. Just let the body relax down as you're taking that exhale. From there, take your hands off of the leg and walk them into the centre of your legs. Again, it doesn't matter how far forwards you are, just holding here. Start to walk over towards that other leg. So again, here you're letting your body twist around, dropping down. Doesn't matter if you can reach further up one leg than the other, just stretching to where you can on each side. See if you can drop further down here. Walk yourself back up the legs, you're sitting tall. Twist your body round. So we'll do that again, but reverse. You're going to twist to the leg that you've just stretched out. Here we go, nice and tall. Twist that upper body so you're facing that diagonal. Walking those hands down. Rounding the shoulders, dropping the leg. No, the head, sorry, I can't speak today. Thinking nose to knee. Doesn't matter where on your leg your hands are. flexing that foot to increase the stretch in the back of the calf if you want to. Walking those hands into the centre. Remembering you're just holding there, dropping yourself forwards. Walking your hands over to that other leg. Again, dropping that head down. So allowing your body to drop further with each exhale. Walking your hands back up your leg. Staying nice and tall. Good. So allow yourself to come back into the centre. Just take a moment if you need it. From there, we're going to take another stretch through the body. So you're going to hook or put one foot as if you're in a cross-leg position, and the other leg just steps in front. As far around as you can, doesn't matter if it's quite open like mine. You're going to hold on to the front knee with the opposite hand to pull your body around. This back arm is going behind you on the floor. And so you're just giving your upper body a twist around. Look at the back shoulder, holding just below that front knee. From there, place the other hand onto the knee, the other hand comes behind, and again twisting away. So twist towards this back shoulder, so now you're opening up through that body. We're going to swap sides. So this lifted up leg is going to now tuck under as if you're crossing your legs. Get the foot places in front. Opposite hand to knee. So twisting the same way you've just been, but you're doing that crossed position through your body. Your other hand comes behind, looking towards that back shoulder. Holding just below that knee. From there, swapping hands onto the knee, the other hand is behind, twisting in that open position. Taking the soles of the feet together so your knees are wide. Hands come onto the soles of those feet and just dropping your body down. Pushing your elbows into the sides of your legs if you can to increase that stretch. Good. From here we're going to be laying on our side, so we're going to work on those legs. Let me just get myself set up and move this out of the way. You can get yourself a drink if you need one. So, you're going to be laying on our sides, and preferably I'd like you to have your arm out long to rest that head on. But it doesn't matter if you'd prefer to have it bent and supporting the head. These legs are nice and long here. We want to take the hand to the hip, and that is just check here that this top hip is directly above your bottom hip. If that feels quite comfortable and easy, you might be laying too far forward like I'm here, or too far back. I know I go on about this all the time, but it's going to work your tummy muscles so much more if you can make sure you're really balanced. This hand, however, can come onto the floor if you need it. Just flex those feet and look down your body. If you can see your toes, and great. If not, bring your legs a little bit further forwards. Let's point the foot as we lift the leg to hip height. Bring it back down with a flexed foot. Point to lift. Flex to come down. Lifting up. Flexing down. Lifting up. Flexing down. So you're really working through the ankle here. You've just got 2 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. We're not going to do our circles here. We're going to lift up, flex. So your leg should be hip height. And you're going to do pulses up for 2 sets of 8. So you're pushing up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll set 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let that leg come down and drop forward. So this leg is now pressing into the floor with the knee, so your hips will be further forward. Your underneath leg is coming up and down. Lift and down. Breathe. Four more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Again, we're going to flex this foot, lift it, and we're pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that leg. Use your hand to push you back up. Restacking, so the legs are one on top of the other. Put this top arm down. We're going to go lift, lift to touch and down. Lift, lift and down. Just to hip height. Mine are quite low because my hips are sore, as always at the moment. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Last 2. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Up and down. We're lifting up and down. Up and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Relaxing there. Now we're going to swap sides. So if you need to, you can roll over to face the other way. If not, then we're going to just change the end of the mat that you're at. Just bear with me. Okay, so again, I want you to have that arm long if you can, with your head resting on top of it. Check those hips are nice and elevated on top of one another. Not laying forwards or backwards. Remember, you can use this hand if you need to. Flex those feet. Look down, can you see your toes? Right, we're going to lift up, pointed. Flex to come down. Lifting up, pointed. Flexing down, nice deep breaths. So working into that ankle. Do that point and flex movement. Got 2 more here. Point to lift, flex down. Point to lift, flex down. This time we're going to flex to lift and hold just hip height, pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the leg down, the leg drop in front. So your underneath leg is going to lift up and down. Lift and down. We're lifting up and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Flex the foot and lift. We're pulsing up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push yourself back up to that stacked position. We're doing our staggered lift. So we're going to lift, lift to touch and down. Lift, lift to touch and down. Breathe. Nice and controlled. 4 more. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Last 2. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Up and down. We're lifting up and down. Up and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. From there, take yourself into a full body stretch. You can roll onto your back if you need to. Once you finish having a stretch, grab your drink. And when you're ready, come onto your hands and knees. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and tuck those toes under. From here, as you breathe out, I want you to pull your tummy all the way in. So you press into the hands and the feet to lift your knees off just an inch or so. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. And down. So the tummy muscles are lifting you. Hands and feet are there for support. We want to keep that head nice and in line, so just make sure that you're not dropping your head or forcing your head back up. If you're on long arms, then I want you to just look past those fingertips. If you're on your forearms because you know your wrists get really sore, then just look straight down to your mat. Let's take 4 more here. Lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2, lift and down. Lift and down. From there, stretch back and roll through those wrists. Good. So because we've only got today and tomorrow of this week's sessions, we're going to do a plank hold again, which we did a few weeks before. Just good to see if you've improved or if you feel any stronger. And I just think it's nice to get that good form in. So you can either be on your forearms or on long arms. It's completely up to you. It doesn't make a difference. If you're on your forearms, it's obviously going to let your wrists rest, but it is harder on your tummy. You can do a mixture of the two if you like. So you can do one of one and then another of another. It's completely up to you. So I just want you to bring your upper body towards the end of your mat. So we're looking at a really nice quality, good plank. From here, I want you to step 1 foot back behind you, so your weight is in the toes, and then the other leg is going to come out to meet it. Tuck your bottom under so you bring yourself into a nice long line. Here is where you're going to hold for as long as you can. So at least a breath in and out. When you're ready, you need to, you're just going to come back down. Take a moment. And then go back out into that plank. So what I'm looking for is for you to have the best plank you possibly can. So your bottom is squeezed, your tummy is tightened, your hips are in line. So you're not letting those hips drop and dip. You're also not pushing your hips up towards the ceiling. You keep going with these while I talk through. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're only holding it for 2 or 3 or less breaths in and out. Because what we want is for it to be a really good quality plank. If you can hold a plank for a really long time, that's fantastic. But if not, it doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about working the right muscles in the right way. So just make sure that you're really squeezing that bottom, pulling the tummy in so you've got a good position. Count your breaths either if you can see a clock, or use your breath, sorry, if you can't see a clock. So you can use that. Concentrate on that breathing. A nice deep breath in, a nice deep breath out. So you're just stopping when you need to, and then resetting. Don't let those hips drop and end in a rubbish plank. Keep the strong plank position when you think, no, I can't keep this position any longer, it's going to start to drop, or I'm going to go into bad form. Stop, take a moment, go back in. Okay, at least one breath in now. That's my normal hold. And then you're focusing on that breath. You're not going to let it run ragged or lose control of it. Okay, remember you can come down to those forearms if you need to. That doesn't matter if you do that. We're going to do 2 more shorter ones if you're doing not holding them for long. So if you feel like you could go for a bit longer, then stay there. If you've just stopped, here we go. Step back, come into that nice long plank position. Squeeze that bottom, pull that tummy in. You're either staying up there, if you need to, come down with me. Ready again, here we go. Step back, strong plank. You're still in that plank position, hold just for a little bit longer. And relax. Take that nice stretch back, take a shell stretch back, bottom to the feet. Arms reaching out in front, roll through those wrists. When you are done with your stretch, bring yourself into a seated, a knelt or a standing position, whichever you prefer. And then just take a nice big roll back of those shoulders. Nice deep breath still here. And forwards. So if you have just a couple of minutes at home, like the kettle's boiling or you're waiting for your toast to finish and you want to practice your plank, that's the perfect time to just see if you can beat your breaths in and out that you hold for, or your time, but keeping that nice form. Bring those arms out long and to the side, lift all the way up, stretch over. Come back to the centre, lift all the way up and stretch over. Back to the centre. One more time on each side, lift all the way up and stretch over. Lifting all the way up and stretching over. Back to the centre. And that is done for today's session. Well done. Thank you for joining me for today's class. I feel really far away now. Thanks for joining me for today's class. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you have had a good week so far and enjoyed some of the sunshine. I know we've had a little bit of rain as well. So there is class tomorrow, but if I am running late, don't panic. It's because I've got a midwife appointment first thing. My midwife messed up some of my blood, so I've got to go and give some more blood samples first thing in the morning. So yeah, don't panic if I'm just a few minutes late. I'll put a little post up for those who haven't watched today's class to remind everybody. But have a lovely day and a lovely rest of the week if you're not joining in. And I'll see you all next week, which will be the last week of online classes. Okay, have a lovely day. Bye.